Hello and welcome back to Combine and Conquer. It's been a little while since our last episode, about a week, but we set up so much more science here for Research Token 1, and we also worked on things like, we didn't do that yet, I think we set up some of the Tier 2 machines in the last couple of episodes, got a lot of that done. But I was trying to think over the last week while we were celebrating Steam Base Builder Fest exactly what we wanted to get out of this game, or out of this playthrough, really. How we wanted it to work, how we wanted it to kind of pan out, if you will. And I was thinking about it some, and I was trying to decide what I wanted to accomplish, and how I wanted it to work, what I wanted it to look like, and what I want to accomplish is kind of a mystery at this point because we haven't unlocked everything here at the. I keep forgetting how to move this here at the tech tree yet. But what do we want? How do we want this to work? How do we want the base to work? And I think the sort of choice or decision is going to be, how do we want production to work? And with the inability to limit how much of any particular item is made and held in storage, like, for example, we have 517 belts, Mark 1 belts, 336 Mark 2 belts. Do I really need that many at any given time and to let them keep increasing beyond that? I don't think so. And I believe Martin told me that he is working on an ability to limit the items for each planet, but until then I want to make sure that we make a reasonable number of each thing. So we should probably start to think about how to accomplish that, and I think the way to accomplish that is to modularize the base. I was thinking about going for a full bus, but I just don't see that as the viable option anymore. I think the better way to do this is to modularize. So we have a few things that I want to do before we can do that to get everything working. But we were looking at, we finished research at Crossings Mark II. Great. So we were looking at, at science here at the very end of the last and seeing how much science Research Token 1s we can produce off of a full belt of iron. And the answer to that is actually more obvious than I thought. Each gear takes 256. We know we're getting 1 iron maximum out of each one of these every 256. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We should have 12 and a half of these. That's part of our problem. But even so, even if we had the 12 and a half that we need to take this, and the reason it's 12 and a half, by the way, is because each tick on the belt is 20 ticks, or each movement on the belt, rather, is 20 ticks, and so we can produce 256 divided by 20 number of machines, which is 12.8, so it's 13, and then that means but short story long, that means we can only handle up to 12.8 of these as well, because the speed on each of these gear makers is identical to the speed on each of these. So really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Really, we were here. We should have just added 3 more and not bothered with all of this. So we could cut it off and not have so much up here, but I think the way to do this is actually we need to add those other 2 machines, other 2 smelters here. So we're going to have to do a bit of rebuilding of this to get a full belt of science out of this thing. And then, yeah, I know we have no research running. We'll go do it in a minute. And then that thought expands into the bigger thought of, okay, what do we want to do for the rest of smelting, or the rest of manufacturing? And if you think about it, a few different things. Well, let's go ahead and do that next research. Let's see. We could do Research Token 3. We already did that. We already did those. This requires 3, 3, 3. Here? We already did that. This one then? Okay, there we go. That's going to need another 1,500 Research Token 1s, so we have some time. And I think the way to do it for say if we did another smelting line and said, okay, this one smelting line will support all of our making of Mark 1 materials, just to say Mark 1 materials. Whether that's exactly what we want or not is up for argument, but let's say we wanted to have one smelting line of iron that fed all of our Mark 1 materials. What do we need the most of? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is belts and arms, possibly including long arms, in Mark 1, but belts are going to be your largest number. Well, we may not need 500 at the same time. We do need a lot more of them than we need, say, crossings or mergers or splitters, which are not even making mergers, or swappers and mixers. So I think the idea would be to kind of do a little bit of redo, which is not all that interesting, I know, or I suspect. But on the other hand, I think with a game like this, especially given that we are at the beginning of the game, in terms of our knowledge, our experience in the game, that I think that it makes some sense to do a bit of redo on things like this, so that we can try to get as much out of it as we want. So then at that point, we need to figure out how much exactly iron we need. Well, we can figure that out, because we need to have one minor tile, so a minor like this has 9, for every of both materials. Since the cooldown is 256 per tile, or per 9 tile, we get one every 256. We need 9 tiles for every furnace. And so then, if we're going 12.8 furnaces times 9 tiles, that means we need 115.2 tiles worth of iron and coal to go into this smelting line. So I think that's what we should do sort of first, is redo a bunch of this stuff to get it to be the way that it should be, to be fully balanced and fully set up. So in order to do that, I think we're gonna have to break stuff, and I think we'll start by breaking stuff right here. Actually, I'm gonna start by breaking stuff right here, and then here, to let all this stuff start to back up. It was just going to break science, which means that this is going to start whining, but that's fine. And then we can start deleting this. I wish there was a way to make copies of these arrays, because I need to move this one down, and it's not exactly where I want it to be, and I don't want to have to rethink it, because it actually worked out pretty well, although I could have used a mixer right here instead of a splitter if I had made them. So that would have been a smarter thing to have done, but we don't have them made yet, which is going to be the next thing we revisit. So I think what I'm going to just do is take a quick screenshot of it, and that way I can have a picture at least. If I can't have a copy, like a blueprint, then at least I want a picture. Now I could use a module, and actually that's not a bad idea. I could do this. There we go. And I could make it into a module blueprint, but you can't place everything in here. And then, well, you know what? This would kind of work. So this is kind of a cheese way to do this, but this would work. Let's save this blueprint, if I remember how to do this now. Module name, RT2 temp. Modules must have at least one source. See, that's, yeah. So we have to actually put in well, I could have done that differently, I guess. We have to actually put in a source here, but I don't think we actually have to have a sink, or do we? We might. RT2 temp. Yeah, need the sink too. But we could honestly just put the sink right next to the source, because we're not actually making this produce anything. Or can we? We can't. Well, we sort of can, but we can't. And I think that if I put this here and this here, which is the outputs, then I guess I could delete that. And then I guess I need to run it. Stop when all sinks have items. Yes, but then I need another source here. Nope. But then I also need... Yeah, this is where it gets weird. Then I also need a inserter. This might be overcomplicating the process. This is going to be... How do you change these again? There's a way to change this, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, I know. You just go in here to the recipe for... Here? Yes. Copper, please. And that one should already be iron. It is, and it's already working. All right, so that almost is enough. There. And then we just need to extra fast ticking. And I told it to stop when they all had, when all sinks had stuff. So let's try this again. RT2 temp. Okay, so all that goes into then being able to take this module and put it down out here in the world, say way down here. Oh, I have to put it in the range of the influencers, of course. But putting it down here, and then you can toggle. You can toggle the visibility of modules. Is that? No. How do you do that? I will remember. Now let's open it in the planner. There's a way to show... Oh, that right there. That? Ooh, influence range, minor area overlay, pull down, module internals. That's it right there. Okay, so that's how you show the module internals. So now I should be able to just select this whole thing right here and delete it. Short story long, I can delete it. But then I can use this at least as a reference to see what I'm trying to rebuild. And these I'm fine with. You know, having to rebuild them manually because they're pretty simple. But, you know what? Actually, I could have deleted more than that. Let's do this. Delete. And then let's also do this. And I was going up here and hitting the delete cursor. You don't have to do that. The delete cursor's for... I'll show you what it's for. Leave a little bit of this still here, or not. The delete cursor's for actually if you want to delete something that you're clicking on. Yeah, I know I deleted a whatchamacallit. Like if I want to just delete by clicking instead of hovering my mouse and hitting delete. So I should actually be using that feature. So let's clear that. And then we also need to put our influencer back down. Why are these so close together? They shouldn't be that close. Yeah, they shouldn't be that close. You go there. You're in the way. I'll put it there for now. You go here. Then you can go there. And then these are in the wrong spots then too. There. That's actually in the right spot. Why is this weird? Because I don't have them lined up properly, probably? Yeah. This should be, like, here. It's not even there. Does it matter? It probably doesn't matter. Leave it alone, Molly. Okay, so I'll fix that one when I can move this out of the way, but I can't move it out of the way right now. So we need to add a bit to this. So let's clone these times 2. And then take this down. Ooh, that can be deleted too. Take this down this way. Right, because that should be 13. That's backwards. No, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Great. And then we can do, delete that. Do these here. 2 and 3. Not that one. I lied. And then this goes like this. And into there. And this one goes like this. And stops there, I guess. You go here, 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 here. And that gives us the 13. And then we can take this down however we want and do our split and do our making of this, this science again. Okay, so now I need to take one of these up here where I can see it. Put it like right here, still out of the way, but slightly less so. Move this into the right spot. There we go. And now we can do, we'll put a splitter in here for this functionality, but I need to do this all again. Let's go with down a bit like this here. We'll have a belt coming through here, down a bit, and then there'll be another one here. We'll have to have a splitter right here because we don't have the mixer yet, which is kind of a better version of that. And then this will be gears. Let's set a gear recipe on it here. And I can copy another one over here. And then we need to have belts on the next one. And then we need to have research tokens on, I'll do it this way. Research tokens on the next one. Research token 1s on the next one. And then these come down some amount. And then we have a research token 2 recipe here and here. We'll do one of them first. There. And then I can clone the other one. And then we also need a wire input here. Like this. And that'll go here. These are too long by that much. And then we need to have a swapper. Interesting. Swapper. It's interesting the position already occupied thing when it comes and when it doesn't. Alright, so this will be gears into both of those. Then we come this way with those. Iron will come into this one and belts will come out on this one. Need one more of those. Research tokens come out there. Then we have inputs for both products there. And then wire comes up this way. Which means wire comes across here on a belt, or copper rather, comes across here on a belt, and this is the new splitter location. I'll use the new, or the, not new, but the newly discovered functionality here to delete just these few belts like that. And then we need to put a splitter in here to take care of that process. And I think that duplicates this correctly. I think. If not, it's close. We'll find the problem shortly. Oh, I know what the problem is. We also need labs to put those research tokens 2 into. Those are here, and here, and then there, and there. All right, so now we can do another splitter right here. And we can do this. And that'll fill in and seed in, and we'll get those. I mean, we already have too much, but that's fine. So then we can do the same thing we did before. And actually, maybe I don't want to even do it right there. Maybe instead I want to build this in reverse order. So we do a lab, and then we do a research token 1, and then we do a gear here. And we put the splitter in for that. Or actually, it didn't even need to be a splitter. It can just be a belt. This way. And so we figured out via the math that we could do 13 of these, assuming that the math is correct, which means technically that we could go up to that point if we could figure this out. And I think the way to figure this out is to just do this. You know what? Use the delete cursor, Wally. There you go. Let them kind of flush out a bit while we work on this. And this is where copy paste would be really useful because you can't put labs in a module. And that's, you know, the sort of sad thing with modules is you can't do that. Can I delete? Yeah, delete that one. We don't need it anymore. There we go. So we have to build this all manually. And like I said, that's the sad thing. Well, you know what? If I could do... You know what? If I can do this... Nope. Delete all. There we go. Then I actually don't want this. Thank you. I should have done the other thing. I just want this. Because then I want to do it this way, I guess. Because we only need one column. And it can be lined up directly next to the smelting because it's literally the same amount of smelters and things. So we can do this. We can do 12 of them for now. This one. And this one. And then we can put the 13th one in to take that 0.8 when we get the the mining figured out in a moment. So the next statement that I want to make is, or that you may want to ask, or the next thing you might want to ask is, well, what about the iron that's being consumed by research token 2? And you would be right. I should worry about that. But I'm not going to, because the ratio here is nowhere near anything insane to where this is not going to always be consuming iron anyways. So when research token 2 gets filled up and backed up like it is almost now, it's going to stop consuming iron completely, and it's almost there. And so then I want the rest of it to get flushed into research token 2 like it's doing right now, research token 1, excuse me, like it's doing right now, so that we can finish everything. You know what? Though this is not going to work right. Let's do selection to here. Delete all of that too. I did the wrong thing again. Delete all of that too. Hide that thing, please. Does it still show the mod? Yeah, let's turn that off and then do this. There may be a lag related thing with that, so we kind of want to keep an eye on that a bit. Let's just do a column like this. Let's see here. 1, no. 3, yes, that's good. 1 is going to be a no here, so that's a good column. And we're just going to use the shared belt strategy here instead, because as it was pointed out to me, it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to stop this one here. I don't think I want to go down to this way, even though there's 3 there, because I think I want to bring the coal belt through here. Yeah, I need to bring the coal belt through there. So we should do some quick math on this. 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 8, 6, and 3. 9, 17, 26, 34, 41, 46, 49. Now, if there's a way to remember that, I would love to find it. I hope that he adds in like another cursor so you could highlight all of these somehow, and it would tell you, okay, this is how much iron you're getting out of that whole switch, the whole swatch. That would be kind of a desire of mine, and I think he might have mentioned it, or somebody might have mentioned the idea, but if not, I will mention it to him for sure. 40, I forgot already. Dang it, Wally. 49, I think. 9 and 8 is 17. And 6 is 23. So that makes 72. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 9 is 90. Or 9 times 9 is 81. Plus 72 should be way more than enough. This should be overkill by a large shot. Let's try it. So this will go like this, and this will go like this, and it should be backed up like crazy. Once these are done, I will flush them out of there. There. And there. Because we ran out of iron before we ran out of coal, because somebody deleted all the iron but didn't delete all the coal mining. I guess I could just delete these. It's probably fine. It's not like there's a waste because it's infinite, right? In that case, why don't I just do this? Delete. Give me the delete cursor. And I can delete those too. So this will come across from... Oops, not quite there. There. We'll come across from there, but I think even then I want to do maybe something like this. And then we can put in some here. Some here, but I think that one's going to be iron. This one's coal. Coal. 2, I'd rather not do 2, but I definitely don't want, definitely don't want 1. 3, 5, 4, and 2, you might as well do it, I guess, is going to be 9, 12, 14, 18, 24, 31, 39, 47, counting on, you're doing math on YouTube, 53, 56, 57. We're definitely going to need more here. But we could do something like this. Your coal. 57, 62, 69, 76. We're not going to have enough coal right here. It's 81, 83. That's kind of all I can get out of this. Oops, I screwed that up. I mean, I could potentially pack these a little differently to get more, but for now, that's about all we can get out of it. So let's do this, and this, and this, and at least get the iron going again. And then we can probably bring some more coal in from that stone from over here. One of these. There's plenty up here, so we could get some of this more. We were at 80-something, so we need another 30-ish. That's how quickly I forget. And I could also do Mark II miners. We do have some made, but I don't know that I want to. I need to do a influencer up here first. There. We go. That's stone. Stone, yeah. We'll do this one. Miner. 5, 8, 8, 6, and 3 is going to be like almost... actually, that is 30. 21, and yeah, that's exactly 30. Is that enough? I don't know. But we could do this, I guess, to get maybe... oh, you know what? I'm going to do... just going to do these two right here. That'll give me up to... no, now 40, and I'll do this. Oops. And I'll do that. Where are we at? Let's bring these down then. Oh, dang it. There. And then this. Almost like I planned it. Almost. There we go. That should give us enough, I think. Next, iron's dying out about halfway down. But also we're pretty close to filling a belt up here too, so that's kind of good. That's kind of really good, actually. So that fixes science. I mean, yeah, we're borrowing a bit of copper from this bit here, from the Mark I buildings, we'll say. Although, what are we making here? Labs, yeah, that's probably good. Although, probably don't need 200 labs. But that's okay. And that's kind of my thought is, well, what do we do to make this a little bit less insane by, you know, altering some sort of combination of things. You know, splitting the belts off first, for example, and then the arms after that, or maybe even them both at the same time. But to try and, you know, give the belts a full third of our copper, for example, or whatever they need of that, and then, or iron rather, and then by splitting it down further, get to the point where we're making the things we don't need in as high of quantities. How are you all doing? I don't feel like this is enough coal. Well, maybe it's getting there. I mean, this might take a little bit to... I guess it's producing everything. Yeah, it's getting everything. So either I did the math wrong, which is highly possible, or it's actually okay. We shall see. Ah, 2-belt mixing, finished. That gives us the Mark IIs of mixers and swappers. And then we just need to do, I think, one more, maybe? Or is that going to be here? It is here. 3-belt mixing is here. Interesting, okay. Interesting. Yeah, go ahead and click that, but let's go back in there. Just take a quick look and see what else takes... Okay, so you need this, but that takes research token 3 to build. I think then our next thing is research token 3. Back to the world. Yeah, see, coal's barely making it down here still. It may take a little bit of time for it to back up, but I think all that math is good. And then now we just need this, which I didn't plan well for. That was stupid. That was stupid. There we go. Yeah. I needed to put these miners up one more tile. I was off by 1, and I didn't think about it. But then that potentially reduced the amount of coal I got out of this at all. So, that could be a problem. And we should be overproducing by quite a bit here, actually, because we think we did the math, and it was like 160, and we only need 115. So, we could probably use a bit more... or a bit less of these. Maybe I'll take 3 of them out, see what happens. And then we can kind of go from there. Alright, so let's let this go. Let's come over here and take a look at copper and iron for the Mark I stuff. We'll probably back the Mark II stuff out of this build. So, like, I think here we're making Mark II stone... furnace burners. So maybe we'll back those out and just make the Mark I stuff in this area, and then have a completely separate area for Mark II buildings. The reason I'm thinking that, I don't think I finished that thought earlier, and I should have, is that the Mark I stuff compared to the Mark II stuff is a lot more inexpensive energy-wise. Look, for example, this is twice as fast, Mark II is, but it's 4 times the energy. If we go to the assemblers, they are twice as fast, but they are 4 times the energy. You can kind of see a pattern here. Furnace burners, twice as fast, but I don't know... Then there's electric ones, too. Which you could do just by putting the coal into... power instead. I'd have to think about, it's 50 energy compared to 1 coal per 256. 1 coal per 256 is going to be, I think we talked about that for these. It doesn't have it on here yet. Oh, it is. No, it isn't either. How much coal these use? I believe they use 1 every 1024. So that's 1/4 every 256 to produce 100 energy. So, in fact, the electric furnaces are more efficient. Interesting. So instead, do we want to just build electric smelting arrays and build more coal power arrays? Because that's going to use much less coal, and not that it matters there, because this is producing 100 energy for 1 coal every 1024, from what I was told. And this is consuming 1 coal every 256 compared to 50 energy. So yeah, it's going to be like 8 times as efficient to do electric smelters in terms of coal consumption. Now, of course, we have to be able to make enough burners. We have 205 of them. We have to point our coal at them instead. So maybe that cleans this up a bit. But we could do that. Maybe we want to do that. Maybe we'll do that later for this one. How How are we doing here? I want to just kind of see. See if we're getting coal to the end. A bit. A bit. It's not great yet, but it's getting there. And iron still appears to possibly be a full belt. So maybe we rebuild these smelters and not use coal for them. And just do all electric for this array. That would be an interesting idea. Should we? I think we should. So I'm going to rethink all of this. I think that's the best thing to do. Let's see, we have copper here. Is there better copper? Why don't we use this copper and this iron to smelt this stuff with and have like smelting columns as opposed to this disaster of an area and make this a little bit neater. Basically make like a bus for Mark 1 stuff, which is basically input would be more or less just iron and copper plates, but then have a separate bus area for each kind of set of things. There'd be stone plates too, stone bricks, whatever they're called. So let's do this. Let's take up all of this. Just do this, Wally. There. Delete. Nope, delete. That way. And then take up this here. We have plenty of things because everything that we're going to do, we already have. We already have done. So let's do... Oh, I need to do more than that, but that's fine. I need to do this down here, too. Uh-huh. Is there a shortcut key for this? Or anything? No. Okay. And then we can do this. Okay. Do that. Delete. Oops. Have that back for a little while. Go ahead and finish that up. So let's take these now and let's put an influencer up here. And let's do a couple of lines, a couple of arrays here. Well, we need the electric ones, actually. We can start here. That should be fine. One. Oh, we need to make the electric ones. That would be smart, Wally. Wire and furnace burner Mark 1. Wire. Okay. We can do that. Why don't we do that sort of here? Wire. This is copper. Yeah, we're not getting enough stone bricks down here anyway. Let's take this out. And let's redo this recipe here. We don't need this anymore. We just need wire up here. Which means we need copper up there, which means... Do I have crossings? I do. I think. Yes. I'm going to borrow an idea from Jeff. We're going to do crossings here and here. I'm going to take this up, which this part here isn't necessarily borrowing from Jeff, but the next part will be. And that is, we need a wire maker right here. Inserter arm here, here, and here. This is the part I'm borrowing from Jeff. I like this idea. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing it with me. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to pass the wire across the crossing, which is a really cool idea. I like it. He had this actually set up as a whole array of all the belt parts, which is also a really cool idea that we might steal also, but because they all take iron and either screws or rods or whatever here. So rods, screws, those are motors, but that doesn't count. Rods. So he was just passing them across, and since they all take iron, they take belts as well, it might be worthwhile to do anyway. We'll see when we do our rebuild. So this should make electric furnaces now. We're going to need a bunch of these, but we could start with this. The problem is going to be that I'm going to run out of iron, but we don't need iron for this, so that's fine. Electric furnace here. You know what? I could stage these out with the regular ones, and then we could go with it. So we'll want an array of, you know what? Actually, let me delete this stuff here too. Shift click, and that, delete. There we go. Oops, I deleted an influencer as part of that. There it is. So we'll have a column of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Copper ore will come in here. Copper plates will come out. No. Copper plates will come out here. If I do it correctly. We'll set up a bunch of copper miners there, and then we can do the same thing for iron, only mirrored here. Just do this, and then I'll do this. Those will be my placeholders. We'll have to do a crossing for the iron, but that's fine. And then delete this. I'd like a shortcut key for that delete button. So then we can set up the... we can delete these. You know what? We can do it this way. We can delete those. We finished 3 belt mixing. Mark 2, good. Let's go into the research real quick and do the research tier 3. That needs 100 research tokens 2, which is fine. We'll get there. You can see we're already at 10 because there were 10 ready to go. Because there are already 5 in each lab loaded up, and then there's probably a few saved up in each of these, and it's going to be ready to go anyways, so that'll be good. I suppose I probably should have left one of these at either end of each of these, so that we could see where it ends and begins, but I can't, so that's fine, without doing it all again. Let's do a line of copper miners. 2 there. 2 there. Let's not do 2s. Let's just do 3s and greater. Doing the adding here. 4, 9, 15. I mean, I could just take them out of the center. Let's just take them out of the center. Delete here. Because then I can get a bunch of 9s. That's more logical. This here. Let's go this line right here. Because then I can just do 9 goes into 115. Let me get my calculator out. 115.8, I think it was. I already closed my calculator. That means I only need 12.8. 12.8 of these then, too. If they're all at 9. Then I could do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 0.8. I mean, that's 0.8999, right? 8 divided by 9? 8888889, yeah, close enough. So I really only need that 1 belt then. That makes my life a little bit easier. Let's do that here. And then we'll do this belt here. And then this will have to come across and then down. Possibly to there, but might need to go down by 1 more. Let's wait and see on that front. That'll go. And then we'll do the same thing over here with iron. Let's start. Let me move this back here so I can see what I'm looking at. Here. That's 8. And then we could go 9, 10, 11, 12. And this. And then, actually I don't even need that last one. Come across here like this, and into there. Alright, how many electric furnaces do we have made? 7. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Do this part. This is just about done, actually. This will go in here. Select and delete those. Why, you may ask? So that I can do this. I should have left one there. Delete that one too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't need 14. 13. Here. It's going to really beef up my energy consumption, but that's okay. And then I can do this to mirror them. There we go. Okay, so I want to do this like this, I think. And once we have a few of these, we can do some copper as well. And that'll get us started toward our new module here, our new base, basically, where we make all the Mark I stuff again. And I think that's the best thing to do, but I think that's also a good time to stop, given the time. And so in the next episode, I will have enough of these made that we can do this. I'll also make sure I have enough to make a full belt of stone, even though we don't really need it. Or at least a reasonable belt of stone. It may not be a full belt. So I'll probably bring that over here and do a crossing to get it here with these other two. And then we can do, we can work on doing all these rebuilds for now. But the copper down here will keep feeding science, so we can keep doing research, although we'll have to build a RT3 setup, so maybe we won't be able to keep doing research. But that'll be next episode. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you then. Bye for now.